Anisha, how have you embedded e-learning into your classroom program?
First of all, I've broken up e-learning into the 7 curriculum areas: reading, writing, maths, science. An example of that is in reading, I've been using Wordle, which is something that we've learned from the ICT cluster share, where students can, when we do a brainstorm, students go into Wordle and can type in words relating to the topic that we're doing, for example, that. Another example is using Wordle using character descriptions. It's a good way for kids to focus on using adjectives and typing them in just to create a Wordle. Another example is during writing time, we do shared writing, and I use the magnetic letterboard while I do modelling for writing. The students come up and can spell basic sight words to use in the writing, for example, Bach, to, or went, if that's what we're writing in the story. I use Maths, the New Zealand Maths website, to use Material Masters in Maths. I also use the interactive equipment on the smartboard, like the number board, the timer for handwriting, things like that, to incorporate into learning that we do pretty much every day. And yes, that's how I incorporate some areas of ICT into my areas of learning.
So a lot of that is how you've differentiated e-learning as well. Is there anything more you want to say about how you differentiate e-learning? You have answered much of that.
I guess I do put a lot into art and into moulding. For example, we're learning how to count to 10, and I use a digital camera to record the students introducing their parents, and I put this onto YouTube, and I also put it onto the Newland website under Room 6, and using visual audio, so when kids are we were listening to a story about Cinderella, and then I had questions to ask them as a follow-up. And yes, I think that's some of the things I use in the classroom.
So what highlights would you consider from the ICT that you've gathered?
My highlights have just been my increase in passion for teaching. I found that as well as my students have increased in their engagement in learning, so has mine. I just find it a much more effective way of teaching, much more engaging for myself and students, and it's very effective because, it's effective.
And so what issues or challenges have you faced this term with ICT?
I think when I go to ICT cluster shares and I just sometimes find that it's quite overwhelming. Like, there's quite a few things that you can learn from one cluster share, and I think it's just a matter of taking one piece of it and using that one thing at a time in the classroom, as opposed to getting all of it. And